Inch bothers me. He's shown what he's capable of. What if he finds out about our plan?
How would he? We're careful.
He's more ruthless than we expected. The bomb on the train. I don't want to think about it.
We need to make sure that we stay calm.
You mean that I stay calm?
I'm not worried about you. I know you.
Shall we go over the plan one more time?
Good idea. We know that Inch hid the first eye in the Baroness's luggage.
I'll break into her cabin and replace the eye with a fake.
Right. We'll steal the second eye in Cairo.
And Inch will be caught in the act.
It's simple.
The devil is in the detail. I have to get into the Baroness's cabin undetected, then find the secret hiding place, and I can't leave any evidence behind.
Yes. And Inch said something about a combination, so the hiding place might be locked.
One step at a time. I think I'll assess the situation first.
And I think I'll make myself comfortable for a little while.
So this is how married life will be.
Works for me.
Everything went according to plan in London?
Except for the explosion, yes. The Bobby was right on time.
Because he had a good tip-off.
I had enough time to take the eye, but unfortunately there was no time to replace it with the fake.
Where is it? A work of art. Almost as beautiful as the original.
I can't tell the difference.
Inch could. But if all goes to plan, he won't have a chance to take a closer look at the jewel until after the burglary at the Egyptian Museum. Will Legrand cause any trouble?
Everything's still going according to plan. That means he's clever, but not clever enough.
And the Bobby?
Peasant's cunning, nothing more. He won't be able to solve the puzzle on his own.
There's still Inch.
He doesn't suspect anything. We laid the foundation well. I've been his assistant for months already. He doesn't trust me, but he thinks he can play me for a sucker. That's enough.
Speaking of Inch, I saw him talking to you in Venice. What was it about?
He was angry because his attack on the train failed and because I lost my ticket.
How did you get on the ship?
As a stowaway, locked in a cold, dark cargo hold.
Poor boy. I'll go out now and lead the police and master thieves around by the nose.
I can think of something else to do.
I can't. I have no idea where Inch had the fake jewel made, but it's amazing. Even someone with as much experience as I have has to look twice before realizing it's a fake. He has the enviable talent of being able to sleep anywhere, anytime. He once fell asleep on a cable car and only woke up after he'd already gone up the mountain and back down again. We booked this cabin because it's centrally located, easy to duck in whenever we need to. Of course, the fact that it's a first-class cabin with a huge bathroom and shower had nothing to do with it. As soon as I've swapped the jewels, I'll treat myself to a hot shower, and then we'll see how the evening progresses. As soon as I've swapped the jewels, I'll treat myself to a hot shower, and then we'll see how the evening progresses. I don't like wearing hats, but they do fit the role. And I have to admit that the day in London when we shopped for Patricia Mayers was a lot of fun. It happened pretty fast between us. It was magic when we first met. Birds of a feather flock together, and he can be very charming. Daddy wasn't at all amused when I brought him home, mind, but I don't think he'd have been satisfied with anyone. Normally I don't carry so many things around, but it would have been suspicious if I'd come aboard with nothing but a rucksack whilst pretending to be the daughter of a wealthy family. I got this necklace from my father. It's supposed to remind me that money isn't the most important thing in life. If all you've got is this penny, as well as family and friends, then you're a very rich girl, he said. I'll take it with me. It'll bring me luck. I always try to carry as few personal items as possible. If my things are ever searched, they won't reveal my true identity. The poster proudly announces the ship's first Atlantic crossing. The city of New York welcomes the MS Lydia. The silhouette of New York and of a ship, but not of this one. They probably use the same template for every ship. Looks pretty official, with a coat of arms, flag, seal, and all the trappings. And the poster is clean as a whistle. Someone seems to cherish it.
Bravo! Bravissimo! Fantastico! Ha ha!
Would it be okay for you if I get some fresh air up on deck?
Of course, my dear. Give my regards to the sea.
Wooden salad tongs, just small enough to carry around unseen. I'm not an expert, but I think that Mr. Kreutzer really is a very skilled violinist. At least, I liked it, and the captain was certainly smitten. Excuse me, gentlemen.
She can't have meant you, Mr. Kreutzer.
Why don't you just let me have a conversation with the young lady?
I just wanted...
Did you count the rings on your fingers, my dear?
I think I'm going to stretch my legs.
But Mr. Kreutzer, please stay. You simply must tell me more about your wonderful violin.
If you insist.
There seems to be tension between the violinist and the writer. I'd better not get involved. A wonderful concert, wasn't it?
I wouldn't have expected you to be a connoisseur of classical music.
Because I'm American?
Because you're young, and friendly, and radiant. Someone like you doesn't have to know a lot to get along well in life.
Are you easily prejudiced at your age?
In my long experience, there's often a core of truth at the center of every prejudice.
Prejudice is the reason of fools.
Was that written in the book you once read?
Oh, I've read many books. Good books.
But not my books, you mean to say?
You're a writer?
Mm-hmm. What can I do for you, Miss...
Mayers. You know, I'm not planning on throwing myself at a man.
I'm glad to hear it. You have to work. Earn your own money.
Oh, I will. My grades are excellent, and I really want to study acting in New York.
None of my books has ever been made into a good film. The stories were twisted, shortened and simplified so that even the dimmest fellow could follow them.
I want to do theater and travel. I speak 3 languages.
That would be 3 more than most people your age can speak. Do what you have to do. But stay away from bad men.
Is this your first trip on the Lydia?
That's quite enough. Life is too short for conversations like this. I do wish that rather delightful Swiss policeman had come along.
I heard you had an interesting trip on the train.
It was thrilling. I'm hoping for an encore. Perhaps in Cairo.
Mr. Kreutzer possesses impressive technique, don't you think?
He certainly does. His numerous playmates in Austria can tell you more about it than I.
You mean Mr. Kreutzer is a womanizer?
I'm not talking about cheap skirts. I'm talking about expensive clothes. A man like him needs funds to support his lifestyle. Just go over to him, my dear. Tell the maestro that your family is wealthy. You have everything he's looking for. Money and a pretty face.
Hold your tongue. Mr. Kreutzer, Lady Westmacott, please.
Or did you have your eye on me, Mr. Kreutzer? Old, yes, but rich.
Jezebel!
Mr. Kreutzer, Maestro.
That's better. Freeloader.
You and Mr. Kreutzer, you seem to know each other.
Not really, but I know his type. Parasites who cling to the rich and famous and suck them dry. The young, misunderstood painter. The innovative writer who writes books that no one wants to read. The musical talent that has to be supported. The ladies and gentlemen of high society let the others use them and call themselves patrons. Another word for fool.
Didn't you finance archaeological excavations in the Near East and Egypt?
For my husband, and I was there myself. I catalogued items for him, and I didn't show him off like a trophy at cocktail parties. But my son was one of them, the worst kind. The kind that sucks not only the money, but also the life right out of a person.
May I take my leave?
You may.
Very fine handiwork. The model maker even wrote the name of the ship on the tiny life preservers. But the winter garden at the back of the saloon is missing, and the stern deck looks different. It was obviously made before the ship was remodeled. Maybe one of the crew whiled away the long nights at sea building the model. Only someone with a lot of time and a love of the original could build such a thing. The only regular event seems to be the nightly drink in the saloon. Judging from the rest of the entertainment program, it seems necessary. Several journals and magazines. Ah, this looks pretty interesting. Art and Culture Today. There's something about the exhibition. Unique masterpieces exhibited for the first time together in their home country. Tireless efforts of Baroness von Trebitz. No time for reading. I have to find the secret compartment in the Baroness's cabin.
Come in. How can I help you, young lady?
Are you the ship's doctor?
Yes, of course.
You see, that's what I thought, because you've got a uniform and you work in the medical center.
Well spotted, young lady. My name is Dr. Gebhardt. How can I help you?
What are the other passengers like?
Listen, young lady, I do not really have time to chat right now. Today is my first day, and it is going differently than I had expected.
You do seem a little stressed. Maybe you should relax. Stress isn't good for you.
You're right. If there is nothing else I can help you with.
But you weren't really helpful at all. Maybe I'll come back later. Bye now. We briefly discussed whether we should try to steal the second eye here on the ship. The lack of escape routes and the 10-centimeter thick door to the safe settled the question. Legrand is an important part of our plan. He's the one who'll arrest Inch in the end. But there's still a lot to do before that happens.
I'm sure I could help you if...
Stand aside.
If you told me what you're looking for.
You're just getting in my way. Now get out.
I'll wait at the door, madam.
Yes.
Oh, Miss...
Mayers?
Can I help you?
No, I'm just having a look around the ship. Good day. Oh, that was close. A handsome man and a talented musician, but he doesn't seem very happy. Hello, Mr. Kreutzer.
Do you want to have a go at me, like the old witch in there?
I just wanted to talk to you.
Now is not the best time.
I just wanted to tell you that I really loved your music, and that Lady Westmacott did not have the right to speak to you like that.
Really? How do you know? You don't know me.
Then, did she have the right?
No, she didn't. That cynical old witch enjoys exposing the weaknesses of others. Although we all have them. She as well. She lusts for recognition and acts as though it weren't so disgraceful. She rejects prizes and awards with snide remarks, but she's angry when others receive them. She needs to know that she's better than others.
You seem to know her quite well.
I've only met her once or twice, but I know her son and some of her friends. One friend of hers supported me for a long time. No one is brave enough to say it to her face, but everyone hates her.
Her or her success? You're so talented. Why aren't you performing on the world's great stages?
Fate, perhaps. Or bad luck. My parents opened every door for me and my sister and expected corresponding careers.
Over-ambitious parents who force their children to play music?
No, it wasn't like that. I loved it. I loved to play the violin. They didn't have to force me. I wanted to do it on my own. I thought I would achieve my goals if only I worked hard enough. But it was not to be.
What happened?
In a more dramatic story, I'd say that I broke my hand just before my big break, or that I was rejected because of my nationality or my name, or that I was brought down by a conspiracy. But nothing like that ever happened. I practiced like mad, got better and better, really good, but nothing happened. The right people never heard me. I was never in the right place at the right time. Can you imagine how it feels to always be on the cusp of a breakthrough? To be just one evening away from becoming an overnight sensation? To see how other, less talented violinists pass you by because you just aren't lucky enough?
How terrible.
For every star in the limelight, there are a dozen more that burn out unseen, fading month by month. I didn't want to be one of those people who waste their lives chasing dreams without realizing that they're unattainable. If I couldn't have the life that I always dreamt of, and that my family expected from me, then at least I could have the next best life.
The next best life?
Mansions, limousines, parties. Everything you could wish for. Though none of it belongs to me.
The lady called you a freeloader.
An ugly word, but maybe not so far from the truth. I move with the rich and famous, and at first glance, I live exactly the life my father always wished for me. A carefree life, easygoing. And I play the violin, which I always loved to do.
But it's not really like that.
It's empty. My life is just a shell. A show, and everyone knows it. I loved something once, and I burned for it. But now, the violin is just an accessory for practicing my real profession.
And your family?
How could I ever look them in the eyes? A failed violinist who gave up.
What does the future hold for you?
Isn't it obvious? My hands are starting to shake from alcohol. What will be left once I lose my good looks? I'll have nothing then. And so I'll put an end to it all.
You can't say things like that.
With my father's pistol, I always have it with me. It's gone. Fate won't even grant me a quick death.
Don't you think you can still make it?
No. It's too late now. The real question is, did I give up too quickly back then?
I don't know.
Thank you for listening.
Goodbye, Mr. Kreutzer. Lovely big towel. I hope tomorrow I'll have a chance to sunbathe and enjoy the rest of the trip. A deck chair in the sunshine on a cruise ship. I'd be a fool to miss out on that tomorrow. But I have to take care of my duties before I can relax in the sun. Practicality was definitely placed ahead of design here. I guess the Lydia regularly docks at harbours that don't have their own gangways. And rather than make the passengers climb ladders, they opted for the less beautiful alternative. This should be the entrance to the cargo hold. Not really my concern. Bull, curling, shuffleboard, all the same to me. I'm not interested in any of that now. The two of them seem to be in a private conversation. I'd better not disturb them. When Adil and I were following the professor in London, I was disguised. But that doesn't mean he won't recognize me now. Two handsome sailors are standing at the table and studying a marine map. Good thing they're busy. I can have a look around without being disturbed. If someone leaves the bridge, I'll pretend to be stargazing. And if that doesn't work, I'll just turn on the charm. no idea what kind of flag this is, but the pole it's attached to could be very useful one day. It's about 80 centimeters long and looks quite stable. Yes, it's sturdy, but it's also too cumbersome to carry around. A classic. The thief enters through the ventilation shaft. Can it really be that easy? No, it can't. The cover is screwed shut. All the first-class cabins have their own ventilation. The shaft might be my best point of entry, but unfortunately, the cover is screwed shut. No, there's no gap to put the pole in. I can't force the cover open. No, there's no gap to put the pole in. I can't force the cover open. All the first-class cabins have their own ventilation. The shaft might be my best point of entry, but unfortunately, the cover is screwed shut.